Now, let me first preface this with I am a Canon Explorer of Light, one of the only 5 wedding photographers in the US that get that title. So guess what? Yes, I love Canon gear. Let me tell you about this camera and why I am not planning on sending this demo one back to Canon Inc. We'll see. Do you think they'll chase me? They might chase me. I don't know. I just finished filming the official video for Canon for the brand new Canon EOS R6 Mark III. It's been a long time coming. You've been hearing tons of rumors about it, but let me tell you the truth about this brand new camera, which I am calling the Swiss Army knife of cameras. This camera specifically came out between the R6 Mark II and the Canon EOS R5 Mark II as sort of a middle ground. To be honest, I think it's stepping a little bit on the toes of the EOS R5 Mark II because of how much capability is built into this camera. For photographers, I really think this is going to be the go-to camera for a really long time. It reminds me a lot of the DSLR, the 5D Mark IV. It's just a camera that's so robust, can do so much, and there's no reason why it's going obsolete for a really long time. With my job, I am photographing, first of all over the place, all over the world. I did 150 days last year. So I'm looking for a lightweight camera solution that's going to capture photo and video really effectively. Now I'm shooting this in open gate, so I'm going to be able to film with my full sensor and get both vertical and horizontal cuts from this, which is really going to help me out and make my editor's life a whole lot easier. So this camera is going to be good for wedding photographers, portrait photographers, on location, in studio, and I think it's going to fit a lot of sports photographers, maybe not as a main if you already have the R1, but certainly as a second body or a backup camera. It's also really great for wildlife, all the bird photography. Now that you have pre-continuous shooting at 40 frames per second, I mean, how much more could you even ask for? And for me, in the wedding and portrait world, I really love the fact that I can flip a switch and then go to 4K 120, giving me that ultra smooth, ultra slow motion. And not to mention, it has up to 8.5 stops of stabilization, which is more than any of the entire mirrorless camera series lineup that Canon has. So we have more stabilization in this camera when paired with image stabilized lenses than any other camera. So it covers the video end with very cinema-like capabilities, including filming in 8K, filming in RAW, 4K 120, which is something that I really use, especially for weddings. There are a couple of other things. We're just gonna put those specs on the screen right now because quite frankly, let me tell you, so I'm a Canon Explorer of Light. I get briefed on these only when I get to do the videos for them and get to test it out beforehand, but they don't give you like a pamphlet that I can read off of. They just tell me it kind of via phone, and I'm not allowed to screen grab or really write anything down, and I just have to memorize it. So if I don't get all the specs right, I apologize, and sometimes things change, so there's that. But I really enjoy talking to you about new cameras when I can give you the practical application. If you want to go read a manual, go read the manual and read all the specs. You don't need me to read the manual to you. If you want, Jared or someone else to talk about this camera from that perspective, and more the specs, go watch those videos. I'm going to tell you how I'm using this camera currently and how I think other photographers are going to use it. I'm going to tell you the practicality of it. This is a 32 megapixel sensor. Now, to me, that's the sweet spot because yes, do I love my Canon EOS R5 Mark II 100%, but it is 45 megapixels. And I really find myself, if I'm bringing that camera on a portrait shoot, on something with sports, I find myself a lot of the time, or at the wedding receptions, I find myself going into C-RAW, compact RAW, so that I'm not using up all my memory space, whether on my card or on my computer later. 32 megapixels to me is a sweet spot because it's more than the 24 of the the R3, the R1, the R6 Mark II. It just gives you a little bit more, so I have some crop room. I crop in camera a lot. I use the 1.6 crop or in post, and I'm going to feel a little bit better printing larger images from that as well. Not that 24 is bad. Literally, I've printed a 13-foot photo. Canon printed a 13-foot photo of a 24 megapixel file. But 32, I feel like it's just that sweet spot. And the other thing that's a sweet spot here is the fact that this camera right now, I think it was $2,800, something along those lines. It's less expensive than the R5 II. Now, because it is a 32 megapixel sensor, it's not going to have as clean of an ISO, high ISO feel. Comparing it to the R5 Mark II, which that is just groundbreaking, high ISO, low light capabilities. There's just nothing like it. So it's not going to be a less expensive R5 Mark II. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying that for a $2,800 camera, this is going to be the camera of choice for a lot of people.
Specs wise, I feel like it's stepping on the toes of the R5 Mark II because it has so much power in this little lightweight body. It has so much cinema capability in this lightweight body, and then it has everything that you could possibly need no matter what you're photographing. Now, I photograph weddings, portraits, sports. Actually, this Monday I'm going to photograph the NFL, the Chiefs game, so really excited. They won't let me bring this camera because they're afraid people will see it. So I don't have those photos to show you, but I have a lot more here that you're seeing. It does everything I need. It has the autofocus capabilities that, in my opinion, are just the best in class when it comes to camera autofocusing. You know,
I felt a smoother focus when it came to sports in the Canon EOS R1 that I have. So I'm not telling you that this camera is going to have R1 capabilities. It's not even that type of lineup, doesn't have that same type of battery, but because it has a CF Express and SD card slot, it really is bumping up the performance of being able to shoot at 40 frames per second in burst mode for, I think it was up to 320 frames or something like that.
Oh, it has a people registration. So that was something that was exclusive to the R1 and the R5 too. But now in this camera, it's more accessible price-wise and has that people registering. So you are able to register, for example, like my bride and groom's face before a job or on the job, so that the camera recognizes that they are the priority. And if they're in a group of people, it's going to focus on the priority person that you've registered, up to 10 people there. So that's really cool.
Plus, you have pre-continuous shooting, which is crazy because that wasn't available until the R1 and the R5 Mark II. So the fact that we're getting it in a $2,800 camera, again, I feel like it almost steps on the toes a little bit of, you know, some of the flagship camera capabilities.
If you hold down on the shutter button, the camera is pre-recording up to a half a second. So what does that mean? If you're photographing and your camera is set to 40 frames per second, which it can do an electronic shutter, half a second, half of that is 20 frames. So basically, if you are holding down, you're locked on focus, and then you press the button, it will take 20 photos before you press the button. And it does it like kind of taking them and cycling them, throwing them away. So what does that mean? That means it's amazing for sports. It's gonna literally capture things before you capture them. I tried this out both with sports as well as this smoke bomb daytime firework thing, and it was able to pre-record, and it just ensures that you get the shot, which, you know, I use kind of extreme cases, but think about, you know, the first kiss, how fast some of those are. Oh my word. You will definitely capture with this, both with pre-recording and having such a high frames per second. What else do we love about this camera? Oh, higher sync speed. So I used it in a studio setting, and you know, I shoot on location all the time, and I need to have my camera work really nicely with my strobes. I use ProPhoto strobes. So I love that this went up to 1/320th of a second sync speed. It just enables me to not have to use an ND filter as much and have a lower aperture while still getting the most power out of my light. What else can we remember from a call we had a month ago? Self-filming. It has a tally light. So it's just really nice for me, because I self-film a lot, where I'm able to see far away. I'm using a 50mm lens right now, the RF 50mm 1.2 lens. I'm nearsighted, so the tally light on this camera, I'm able to see that it's recording, and it'll blink for me if like my battery's dying or my card is getting full. So it just helps me with self-filming and making sure that I'm doing things correctly. And it's autofocusing on my face with no problem. I can probably come up into here, hello, and it's just going to follow me. So self-filming is incredible. And all the video specs, again, you know, you'll be impressed. You'll be super happy if cinema is your thing. For me, just doing both photo and video, this is just the camera that I'm gonna bring and put in my bag all the time. I will probably not have the R6 II anymore. I'll probably graduate to this R6 III. I'll definitely keep my R5 II, and I do have my R1, but I can see this camera just being the one that I use all the time. I'm thrilled with everything about this camera. I can't think of any circumstance where like this camera wouldn't do the job. And I said this in the Canon video that I made. Most of the time people will ask me like, hey, what camera should I get? And usually my response is like, well, what do you photograph? What do you film? And now I almost don't have to ask that question, because if you can, you know, have a $700 budget for your camera, like this is the answer, because it's just going to do all of those things. All of the specs in this camera, I mean, it's just going to satisfy everything, every type of shoot. shoot. So let me know what you think. You know, is this the camera that you've been waiting for? I can see this being like the wedding and portrait photographer camera by far. It's like the ultimate multi-tool that you can, you know, get at any given job, both on location and studio. So
I had a lot of fun testing out this camera. I did not purchase it yet, but I can't imagine not. I still shoot with the R6 Mark II, so this will probably be my upgrade, especially with that open gate filming, because I film so much. Again, it's just such a hybrid for both photo and video people. If you're in that world, you're definitely going to like it.
So I can't recommend it any more than that. So that's it, Zoe. Good job. Oh, it has pet focusing, right? Are we focused on Zoe? Whatever. Hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. Bye.